Hey guys, Chris from Hockey Tutorial here, and today we're taking a look at something pretty special, which is the ProSharp HOME unit, which is a personal portable skate sharpener. Now, for as long as I can remember, this is something I've always wanted to do myself, for many reasons, but the main one is because of where I live. Sharpening your skates is very expensive, and aside from that, it can take a very long time to get them sharpened, if you want them done by somebody that knows what they're doing. Now, the issue with that is you can wait weeks and weeks over here to get your skates sharpened just because it's very difficult to get to the person that can do it. And aside from that, they live miles away from where I live. So being able to have full control over my skate blades is phenomenal. I can choose how I want them sharpened and when, and I only have to press one button to do it. Now, the biggest questions that come to mind when you're looking at a personal skate sharpener, because in my personal experience, skate sharpening, I believe, is an art form. The people that can do it incredibly well, and it takes a very long time, a lot of experience to build all of those skills to be able to do that. Now, finding a machine that can refine all of those years of experience into this tiny little thing here, and all I need to do is press one button and my skates are sharpened. Of course, your question is going to be, what's the finish like? What's the quality of the sharpen actually like? Now, hand on heart, I can honestly say that the ProSharp HOME delivers an unquestionable finish. It's better than any of the results I've had done to my blades by anyone out there. The reason for that is because the ProSharp HOME unit is a machine, it's not a person. Regardless of how much experience a person has, they're a human, which means human error. They might not be able to sharpen a pair of skates the exact same way, which is pretty much impossible, every single time you get your skates sharpened, which means every time you get your skates sharpened, you have to kind of adjust to the new style or the result that you've had put onto your blades, because it's never going to be the same every single time. But with the ProSharp HOME, you get that level of consistency across every single grind that you do. Aside from that, you also get to select how often or frequent you want your blades to be sharpened, which means that you never have to adjust to the way that they feel. They'll feel as consistent as they did the last time, which for me is priceless. The great thing about this home unit over here from ProSharp is that because it's so straightforward and simple to use, it's just a case of plugging in the power, putting the skate in, and hitting go. That means that anyone can use it. If it's your mum, if it's your grandparents, your dad, anybody can use this machine, and best of all, they can use it from anywhere that they need to, which is phenomenal. But before you start, there's a couple points that you need to keep in mind. First one being, two major accessories that we want to make sure that you have with the ProSharp HOME is a honing stone and a bat. Now, the honing stone is that thing that you might see the person at the pro shop sliding up and down the sides of the skate's blades after it's been sharpened. That removes any burrs away from the edges, just to make sure that the edges are basically refined and ready to hit the ice. The second one, the bat, that's a device that sits on top of the blade to check that the skate's edges are level, which is definitely going to be important. What you want to do is, before you've even sharpened your skates, before they go into the machine, use the bat to check the levels of the edges, because I'd normally recommend anywhere from 3 to 4 passes before you can take your skates out and you're ready to hit the ice. But if your skates go into the sharpener uneven and you perform 3 to 4 passes, they're going to come out sharpened but uneven. So check the levels of the edges before they go in. If you find that they're off and they're uneven, increase the amount of passes that you give the skate's blade from 3 to 4 to anywhere from 6 to 7. That means you'll be able to eliminate any inconsistencies with your blades to make sure that the edges are nice and even. So after you've done your 3 to 4 passes in the home unit, or your 6 to 7 passes, depending on how level your edges were, this is where you want to then take the skate out. Make sure that you use that honing stone to go over the sides of the blade to make sure that you remove any of those burrs before you check the edges to ensure that they're nice and level and you're ready to hit the ice. Making sure that you check the skate's edges before you sharpen it for the first time, and making sure that you hone the skate's blades after it comes out from being sharpened, and checking the edges again with the bat to ensure that they're as even as you can possibly get them, are going to be critical points to make sure that you have the best experience and the most consistent experience with your blades on the ice. Things you need to bear in mind is that sound that you hear, that really aggressive churning, grinding sound. It's a diamond-coated steel wheel touching a steel blade. It's going to be aggressive, but it's nothing to be worried about. That's just the sound that it makes when it's sharpening your skates, so there's nothing to be alarmed about with that. In terms of when you'll need to replace the grinding wheel, the way that works is, if you look at the surface of it, it's very, very abrasive, very rough. The more you use it, the more the center of the wheel comes into contact with the blade on your skates. It starts to develop a groove down the center of it. Now, when that groove becomes smooth, very, very smooth to touch, and almost develops like a mirror-like finish, that's when it's going to be a time for you to replace the wheel. Now, just to give you an idea of how many sharpens you're going to be able to get out of this one grinding wheel before you need to think about replacing it. On ProSharp's website, it says that you'll get at least 500 pairs of skates sharpened with this one wheel here over here. Now, let's say you play or you skate a lot and you want to sharpen your skates once a week. That's 52 times a year. Just think about how many years you're going to be able to go sharpening your skates before you need to replace this one wheel right here. Close to 10 years. Everything that ProSharp make, their grinding wheels and their machines, are built for the long run, which is why we like them so much. This isn't something you have to think about replacing every month, every quarter, every year. It's going to last you a very long time. So if you add up how many times you're going to be sharpening your skates over the course of 10 years versus the price of one of these, keeping in mind you're going to be able to sharpen your teammates' skates, friends, next door neighbors' skates, add all of those grinds and sharpens up versus the cost of one of these over the course of 10 years. And all of a sudden this thing seems incredibly great value for money. So aside from having full control over when my skates are sharpened now, you also have the portability aspect of the ProSharp Home. We've taken this with us to Finland when we're going out to different cities that we're not used to, because you don't know where you'll be able to get your skates sharpened. If you get a dull blade or you damage a blade from dropping it or something, you're able to quickly touch it up using the ProSharp Home anywhere that you are. We've used this thing in train stations, at airports, on an airplane, in the back of a car. You can use it wherever there's power to be able to sharpen your skates or anyone else's that you're with, which is phenomenal to be able to do. You also have the choice of which grinding wheel that you'd like to have inside this machine. Now, the best part about that is if you know what kind of a sharpen you like to normally get, you can get a grinding wheel that matches that, so you can get that same sharpen every single time you want to sharpen your skates. If you want to try others, or if you're going to be using your ProSharp Home with your team or your friends or your neighbors, you can purchase multiple grinding wheels to be able to give everyone their own custom grind, depending on what they're used to, if they like a deep grind or if they like a shallow grind. ProSharp have a grinding wheel that accommodates for all of those different styles. It's also incredibly quick and easy to change out the grinding wheels inside the ProSharp Home. All you need to do is unscrew one nut, remove the current grinding wheel, place the new one in, making sure that it sits flush to the inside of the machine, and tighten up the nut and you're good to go. It's as simple as that. In terms of maintaining your ProSharp Home, all you need to do, of course, depending on how often you use it, if you use it a lot, you might need to do this maybe every other day, every day. It's really down to whatever you prefer. It's just a case of opening the front of the device up while it's off, not while it's running, and hoovering out the inside, making sure that you use the plastic end of the hoover rather than the metal side, just to make sure you don't scratch the inside of the machine. Now that's just going to pick up any of those tiny particles of metal that come off of the skate blade when it gets sharpened, making sure that your unit is nice and clean and fresh to go every single time that you need to use it. This just helps to make sure that you keep the mess inside the machine at a minimum. Because of what we do travel a lot, which is why having a portable skate sharpener with us makes life so much easier. Really looking forward to also taking this to the Belgium Indoor Pond Hockey Classics in Antwerp. It's going to be great to be able to sharpen our skates because that's always a big one over there. There's a lot of teams, a lot of players, over 236 players from all over Europe and the rest of the world. And there's only one person that sharpens skates that's normally available there. So you can imagine 236 people trying to sharpen their skates at a tournament, and Team Hockey Tutorial has their own skate sharpener. So we can just sit in a corner, plug it in, put a skate in, hit one button, and off it goes. Skates are sharpened. That also means that you don't have to worry about being able to put this thing on a plane. You can actually take this on board a flight. An international or domestic flight is hand luggage, which means you don't have to worry about it getting banged up through the baggage terminals that it goes through. It can come with you on the plane, which is phenomenal. Now we're known for traveling on flights with some unusual things. So this is just another one of the things that we're going to add. Normally it's drones, computers, massive cameras, and now a home skate sharpener from ProSharp. Looking forward to taking this thing with us on the next adventures that we do. So looking at it from a mathematical point of view, if you're sharpening your skates once a week and you pay, say, let's say £10, 52 times a year, that's £520 that you're paying every single year to get your skates sharpened. Over the course of 3 years, that's over £1,500. Over the course of 10 years, it's a lot of money. I think that's a great way of thinking about the ProSharp Home unit. It's not something that's going to save you money instantly because you're going to have to buy one. But after that sort of 3-4 year mark, you can think of every other skate sharpen that you get for your friends or for your teammates or for your brother and sisters or yourself as being for free. It's about thinking about how much this is going to save you in a long run and how much convenience you're going to have having complete control of when your skates get sharpened, what hollow you have, but most importantly, the fact that it's portable and you can take it anywhere with you to tournaments, overseas, keeping that control and keeping that consistency of your blades and how they perform on the ice, making sure that you can be the best player that you can be. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more information about the ProSharp Home in terms of how it works, how to use it, and of course a little bit more detail on how to maintain and care for it, there'll be 2 videos that will load up along the side of the screen over there that you can check out. Thank you very much for watching. We make these videos for you, so please, before you go anywhere, hit the subscribe button down below, because we can't make these videos without your support. And if there's anything you want us to see shoot next, comment down below and let us know what that is. But before you go anywhere, please, we make these videos just for you. Hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything that we post. Take care till next time, be safe, and I hope you subscribe so you see what we post next.